Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the program today.
Hey guys, we all know that King Charles III of UK finished his coronation, and a lot of commonwealth during that coronation have sent him a letter telling him about the slave trade and the consequence of UK and British and the other slave trade that England caused us. Okay. Guess what? After the coronation of King Charles III, Mazi Simon have decided to send a letter to King Charles to tell him about the havoc that his mom have caused our people and the British entirely have caused us through the coronation and amalgamation of Nigeria. So the problem here is that Mazi Simon actually reiterate, like I said, King Charles have to use his goodwill this time around to settle this thing. I know he's a man that have children and grandchildren. He want happiness for these people, but the honest thing is that the amalgamation of Nigeria, which is Britain's colonies, have caused a lot of deaths in Biafra land, which happen to be under Nigeria currently. So that thing is something that every Biafra is actually talking about now as the UK government to make sure that everything has been settled.
Having listened to the brief history of crisis, electoral violence, killings, murders of Igbo people and Biafra, the injustices being meted by Nigeria state, controlled by the Fulani British and all that, led to the first coup of 1966, which they tagged Igbo coup, which was a lie. Today, we have come again. I am just making references to how history has repeated itself. You have seen the end and the outcome of the so-called 2023 general election, which witnessed the killings and burning of properties of Ndigbo. Now they have metamorphosed to demolishing the houses of Ndigbo in Lagos. This is exactly what happened in 1966, leading to the coup. Today, we are not talking about the coup. We are talking about exiting Nigeria. We are going to also send a very strong message to King Charles III. Many people within the Commonwealth states are demanding apology and compensation for the crime of the British during their colonization. Biafra people are not demanding compensation. Biafra people are not demanding apology from King Charles III. Biafra people are demanding freedom from the slavery and from the slave amalgamation of 1914. We are not interested in apology. We are not interested in compensation for those who are now asking for compensation. We are not interested. For those who are asking for apology, we are not interested. All we are interested in is our freedom from that enslavement, from that subjugation, from that particular evil document of 1914 amalgamation that made us what we are today, and our people has become victim in their own land. That's all we are asking for. British has only one thing in mind while carrying out this particular amalgamation of 1914, that we have written to the world, we have written to United Nations, we have written to United States, we have written to European Union, and we are going to write to United Kingdom, including to King Charles. Apologize, compensate us for colonization. Indigenous leaders urge King Charles III. And we are telling him that we are not interested in the apology. We are not interested in his compensation. All we are interested is the freedom of Biafra. If that is going to be his apology, we will write him officially. Leaders of the indigenous people of the Commonwealth on Thursday signed a letter urging King Charles III of the United Kingdom to apologize for the horrific impact of colonization. How can you be demanding an apology when there is no peace in Nigeria? How can you be demanding an apology when ordinary election cannot be conducted? without people being killed in Nigeria. So the Biafra people, the Biafra Republic government in exile, we are going to write our own letter. It's going to be very different. Different is that we are not begging for any apology. We are not interested in compensation. We are not interested in anything because the problem have not ended. So we are demanding King Charles III to begin to use his influence and look into Biafra referendum as the only way for peaceful exit of Nigeria.
So after this coronation, Master Simon have decided to write letter to King Charles III about the Biafran debt and about the problem with Biafran and Nigeria. Master Simon is asking the monarchy to ask Nigerian government to call for plebiscite or referendum so that the people can decide whether to continue to stay as one country or to divide and go their separate way. We know that the Britain amalgamation of Nigeria is not favorable to the Biafran people, and since that amalgamation, a lot of Biafrans have been a victim of that nation. And we know the rules that UK have been playing all this while in order to maintain the unity of Nigeria, and that is not favorable. In maintaining that, a lot of Biafran children have been killed either directly or indirectly by UK policy. And we know that King Charles, being the new coronated king, has a lot to maintain, and he wants his grandchildren to enjoy a good life. He wants his children to enjoy a good life, but to do that, he should not allow other people's children to suffer too. A lot of people died during Nigeria and Biafran war, and that war is still continuing. Nigerian government have secretly been killing Biafran children up to today. And why is that happening? Because of the consequence of your mom and your Great Britain's action. And today Simon is calling the Britain monarchy to do the right thing with his influence to make sure that this referendum is being called and Biafran people decide whether to stay or not. It's not calling that they should come and take them out of Nigeria. No, he want the people to make their choice whether to live as one or not. Now after this coronation or before the coronation, a lot of countries under commonwealth are writing UK monarchy asking them to compensate them or apologize for the slave trade, but the people of Biafra say they don't want that. According to Simon Ekpa, the MP in Exile, he said that we don't want this apology or we don't want any money compensation, but what we want here is our freedom. We want you guys to call for plebiscite or referendum so that my people will vote and make decision. Whatever decision they make, I will respect that. But in terms of the amalgamation of Nigeria, that Biafra people are no longer interested. We saw what happened in the election, where how they kill a lot of Igbos, destroy Igbos' property, and do a lot of things that people don't accept. So in doing that, we must want to get our freedom. So to do that, Mazi Simon Ekpa have decided to write King Charles, and that will come to be reality. And King Charles, the slave trade that happens in Africa still much fresh, and it's painful to many people that experience that, both their extended family and community that are affected. Your mom, when she was alive, she could not put an end to this or come out to apologize to what they did to the African people, and that is still up to today fresh in people's heart. So Master Simon will be writing and asking King Charles to make it public and apologize for what they have done to people.
So we don't repeat the Rwanda case. And if it happens that Rwanda repeats in Nigeria, don't blame Simon Ekpa. Don't blame Mazen Amdekano. Don't blame anybody. Blame the government of Britain. Blame European Union. Blame America. Blame United Kingdom. Blame UN. Blame every organization and country that has influence. They could not use their influence. Because when they think that we're going to give up our freedom for Taliban to take over, and then you come and start giving us asylum, you are joking. You are joking. We want this particular information to go viral. If you did not support the referendum of Biafra, you are supporting the repeat of Rwanda, and we are not going to be held responsible for it. The opportunity to solve this problem is here and right now in your table. Because if you think that you can overlook it and killing us and say that we are going to keep quiet. You don't know what is coming.
I know that he just have a grandchildren and he has a son. And he wants his children to have a good life, to be able to celebrate like others. But in knowing that his mom or his Britain have caused a lot of havoc in a lot of African community will not be fair. And his monarchy will not be, glorified like many that wish to glorify the monarchy. So hope he will listen to the letter and come out publicly and denounce every atrocity committed by the Britain and African community, mostly against the Biafra, where about 3 million children were starved to death through their policy. Thank you.